right? So another point that I want to get into in this book, all right, real quick. It says, a Georgian chronicle echoing an ancient tradition identifies them with the host of Gog and Magog, okay? Wild men with hideous faces and manners of wild beasts, eaters of blood. You know, eaters of blood, man. And that goes into what? In Genesis 25, when Esau, pretty much took the portion of meat from Jacob, and it wasn't even done all the way, man. He liked his meat red, man. And that's the same way of the so-called white man today. You know, and the brother Yashawama just put up a beautiful clip of breaking down how, you had this Edomite, he was eating a regular diet, but it wasn't suitable for him. But as soon as he started eating raw and bloody meat, he was fine, man.
6 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. I was so weak, I couldn't even get up a flight of stairs without losing my breath. 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome.
And if you notice through the spirit what that devil said, he said, 6 years ago, he was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. And what happened with Esau? Even though we know he just came from the field and he was faint, but the Lord places all through the spirit, that Esau happened to be faint and he needed red meat. And now this Edomite today, he has chronic fatigue syndrome because he needs red meat, because he needs this raw meat, man, just as Esau. So that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to further the point, man,
Derek pinpointed the underlying cause of his health woes in his diet, specifically his intolerance to certain foods. Foods like yogurt and granola, considered to be healthy for most, simply didn't agree with Derek's digestive system. After trying different nutritional philosophies, he finally stumbled upon the Paleolithic diet in his research. Almost immediately, his body felt better.
Yeah, before I found this diet, food was a real issue for me. I dreaded having to eat because I knew afterwards I would feel so terrible. So, it was a struggle for me day in and day out just to find foods that I could eat, that I could tolerate. And then once I transitioned over to this diet, within a couple of weeks, I noticed my digestion was working better than it had ever worked before. I got a cup of ram's blood right here. All the nutrients, all the electrolytes and minerals are already assimilated into the blood and, in the proper portions that your body needs. Perfect hydration. Cheers. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
These are my organ meats that I've put aside for our feast later. This is the kidneys. And then this is the liver. And this is a heart, and this is a testicle.
Only the so-called white man could live off of things like that, man. But when Jake do that type of stuff, Jake could get sick, man. Because that's not in our nature. That's the nature of the so-called white man, the Edomites, according to the scriptures, man. They wild beasts, man. As it gets into, real quick, grab this scripture, Psalms 49, and I believe it's 12. Yeah, Psalms 49 and 12. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not, he is like the beast that perish, man. And, that's the so-called white man. They don't have no honor. They don't have no morals about themselves, so they like the beast that perish, man. That's why they destroy the whole face of the earth, because they don't know any better, man. They're just like a wild beast, man. But actually, some beasts have more order than the so-called white man, man.